noticed about you guys are all really young. You graduated the same year I did, Alex, and it's like, why do you guys choose to play like the kind of music that you do, like 60s psychedelic music? It seems like a whole generation removed. It's like,
no, I don't know. My dad listened to a lot of old 60s stuff, and I don't know, I liked a lot of new music, but I really like the 60s stuff for what I've heard, you know, from different bands I had, the early Rolling Stones and really Cream and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just really caught my ear, and we like playing that kind of music.
Yeah, I mean, music that we like, usually we try to mimic that and, you know, project it in a new way. So we're taking, you know, all these facets from different genres and making them into sort of our own thing. And, you know, lots of people say that resembles like a 60s sound, but I mean, I'm never not inspired by music I hear. And it's not just 60s music, that's just what it comes out as.
Yeah.
And you never really know if that's gonna be the same sound with one album from like the next. So
about songwriting, who does like songwriting? Who does like lyrics versus like the physical like songwriting of the songs? Or
I write a lot of the music, and William writes a lot of the lyrics, and then our bass player Spencer, William's brother, does a lot of songwriting himself. So, but a lot of the songs have I wrote a lot of the music, and William usually does a lot of the lyrics.
But I wouldn't say that it's just limited to one person. I mean, George records on his own. He writes his own lyrics and stuff. So one track you might hear me singing, Spencer singing, and, you know, in special tracks you might hear like George singing, or like Alex was singing in the EP from Florida, Certified PR. There's one track where Alex sings a song. So I mean, we all take turns singing and songwriting. But mostly when we're on stage, it's Spencer and I. Like, the live shows, it's usually the songs that we choose to play.
Also, what like non-musical things like film or TV influence your writing, if at all?
Well,
we've always liked
Clint Eastwood, spaghetti westerns. We're all big fans of those movies and stuff. Just a general badass pop culture. It's what we try to do, you know.
Sci-fi. We've always liked a lot of science fiction stuff. So definitely, there's some, you know, kind of psychedelic, spacey science fiction elements.
For sure.
And last question: how do you guys get along as brothers? And I think that's kind of unique, at least from my growing up. I've known too many bands that are sets of brothers. How do you guys get along versus like shows versus practice? Or
usually it goes pretty smooth, and then you know.
There are times when it gets intense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I'll compare it to a diamond. I mean, there's lots of pressure behind those minerals to make a beautiful gem, you know. And if I may compare our music to that, I mean, there's lots of pressure and intense times, but I think in the end it benefits the band. And a lot of the songs sound good because we really press them out, you know.
Yeah, I have a brother too, so I know what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's any social situation. People are gonna have confrontations and argue. It's, you know, the brother thing. We've always been friends, you know. It's like we've all grown up with each other. We've all known, even when George wasn't friends with William or I wasn't friends with William's older brother Spencer, we all knew each other. So it's just normal everyday things, you know. We get in fights and stuff, but it goes pretty smooth most of the time. So
usually, like, when we record, that's when it's really intense, you know.
Under a lot of stress, probably.
Yeah. That happens when any band records. Yeah. Everybody wants to do.
But as far as being brothers, I mean, I think that only helps the band because we're always around each other. It's easy to practice like that when, like, him and George are in one house and Spencer and I are in the other house, and it's easy to just intermingle your schedules to practice and, you know, record and play shows. Yeah. So I don't think it would be any easier if we weren't brothers by any means.
I think that's actually an advantage if you think about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have more time to coordinate rather than other bands that have to coordinate everybody, like 4 or 5 people, and it can be a hassle.
Yeah. I mean, in small things like buying picks and cables, those are all shared between like us pretty much, and like me and my brother. I never really think about I'm buying for myself, rather I'm buying for like a band or a corporation that we fall under. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're like a family.
It's a family restaurant. We're a family restaurant. We only reap the benefits of being brothers. So I don't know. I think Alex would agree, and Spencer and George would agree with that for sure. But there have been times on stage where, not so much anymore, but like when we were first playing shows, it would get a little heated, you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really happen like that anymore. And people don't really understand it. We're just like, we're just brothers doing brothers do, you know. So.
Yeah, they just think you're crazy usually. So.
Yeah, it can only add to that, you know, just the stage show.
Oh yeah, it makes it more a dynamic show, and you know, it makes it a lot more fun. So.
Times, yeah.